There are already comments pouring in on our YouTube live stream. Dennis, what do you have?
So we posed the question out there, would Bill Belichick work at UNC? As simple as that.
The billion-dollar question.
Mix of people out there, including Randy says, yes, I do. Go Heels. Also, Kessler says, if Deion Sanders can work at Colorado, then the possibilities are endless with Bill Belichick at UNC. Joshua says, yes, imagine Bill Belichick game planning against Wake Forest. Not going to be close. But there's a mix out there. 1441 Bradley says, I hope he is not the coach. Horrible decision. Please hire someone younger. Brian Walters also says, I would rather have Steve Wilkes. Definitely a better long-term option. Bill Belichick, 72. Mac Brown, 73. Steve Wilkes, 55. So, yes, there's a whole mix, including Danny Jones says, please get Bill. Who the hell else are we going to hire right now?
There's that, too. Again, the phone line's open. I'm going to respond to a lot of that. Phone line's open, 919-860-5326. I think there's two parts here. There's the immediate impact and there's the long-term potential level up for UNC. The immediate impact, I would say, lasts as long as Bill Belichick is the coach, right? As long as he is coaching the program, you're going to have one of the best schemers in the history of football.
And as Harold just pointed out, stadium will be full.
Stadium will be full to watch one of the biggest stars in the sport. The immediate impact is Bill Belichick as head coach and however long that lasts. You're going to have a guy that can get in any room. I saw Evan Cohen, who hosts on Sportsmanlike every morning here on 99.9 The Fan, as well as multiple ESPN markets. He was talking about, like, go get Jalen Milroe. He's saying, like, Bill Belichick is going to be big game hunting in the transfer portal because he's Bill Belichick. So that's the immediate impact. I think the long-term impact is something that's not being overlooked, which is he's going to come in with a certain level of this is the structure I wanted, right? And the reports are, and was it Ollie Connolly at The Guardian had the report, that there's a 400-page organizational Bible that Bill Belichick has drawn up for how he wants the program to run. And it involves front office, it involves GM, it involves scouting departments, it involves essentially salary demands for each position group. And it's restructuring everything, right? It's not a traditional college football structure. Now, if you think that's where college football is going, if you think that's where college football, the more professional model, it's starting to look more and more like the NFL, then Bill Belichick can come in and get you there first, right? He can get you there right out the gate, right? An immediate big change to the most modern hierarchy, the most modern structure. And then the long-term significance of that is whoever comes in next already has an NFL, a pro structure built in their college program, right? So the immediate impact and the long-term impact can both be positive. You can also split them up, right? Maybe Bill Belichick doesn't win as much as a coach because he's I don't know, doesn't relate to 22-year-olds, but he builds this entire professional behind-the-scenes deal and the next guy benefits. Reverse could also happen. Maybe he wins a bunch because he's a great scheming coach, X's and O's, and the structure falls apart for the next guy. But either way, there are two different conversations to have about Belichick to UNC. Again, the Heaster Automotive Group hotline is open for your reactions to the reports inside Carolina First that Bill Belichick and UNC are finalizing a deal at 919-860-5326. Matt in Burlington, you are up first. What are your thoughts on Bill Belichick to Chapel Hill?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of skeptical at first about it, with his age and everything. But the more I think about it, it's forcing our administration to go all in and to give them the NIL money and, all the resources that, big-time football, requires. And so, if we can have any kind of success, maybe win an ACC championship, in the first 2 or 3 years while we still have Belichick, I think it justifies, going all in for the future. And I think that, that sets us up a lot better, going forward as a football program.
How would you feel if part of the agreement, even if it's just a handshake like you have my word, involves Steve Belichick, Bill's coach or Bill's son, being the head coach in waiting?
Yeah, I'm not I'm not super crazy about that. Anytime you see Steve on the sidelines, he looks like he might be under the influence of some stuff. But he's
got crazy eyes, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he's got crazy eyes. If that's what we got to do, then I just want big time football at Carolina. I'm one of the few football first UNC fans, and there's not that many of us. And I'm just excited that we're taking a swing at it.
All right, I appreciate the call. Call back in any time. There better be more football UNC fans now because everything the caller just said. They're now all in. It's forcing them to make a bigger commitment to football. It is they're a bit more pot committed now. That comes with the request for more cash. And it might not be that blatant. It might not be, hey, we have Bill Belichick now, give us a check. But it might be, you do have to fill the stadium. Maybe prices do go up a little bit. Maybe the spring game is a ticketed event, and those tickets go up in price because you have to find the money for everything Bill Belichick wants somewhere. And, I talked about this yesterday. If I remember correctly, Colorado had a bit of this when they hired Deion, which was, they signed him to I'm just going to use a round number. I don't remember the exact breakdown of the contract, but let's say they signed Deion to a $10 million a year contract. The question for the athletic director was do you have $10 million a year to pay a coach?
I think it was just under $6 million. Okay, it was 5.84.
Do you have that money? And for the assistants and for everything else? And the answer was we have this year. And then we are of the belief that we will make so much more money because of what this program is going to do that we'll have it for the next year. And guess what? I guarantee you they do. Colorado's been a massive money maker since Deion Sanders got there. And UNC might be making a similar bet. Okay, we will commit this amount of money to you with the expectation that the program is going to be more profitable with you as the coach. So we have the money for this year, and next year we have to make that money because it's not in our hands as of yet. But that's part of being a business owner, right? Part of being a business owner is spending a ton on inventory, hoping you'll be able to sell it, right? I've watched Shark Tank. One of the questions they always ask is, how much money do you have in inventory? And they're like, $300,000, and it's like, well, then what do you need us for? You got to spend money to make money in a lot of ways. Maybe you're spending money this year on Bill Belichick that you had earmarked for next year, but part of it is we expect to make all that back and then some. It is a massive commitment, though, especially if UNC got anywhere near what was reported as very, very high demands by Belichick if he was going to come coach at the college level. I also, going back to it takes Bill Belichick, it's one thing, and it's easier to spend a bunch of money when you're getting Bill Belichick. It's the brand name thing, right?
Sure.
It's and now once you spend all that money, like I say, you're pot committed. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe this, but if you buy something on the cheap and it breaks, you're more likely to just go, we tried. If you buy something super expensive and it breaks, you're more likely to say, all right, if we have to throw some more money at this thing to get it working, I don't want to have wasted all that money we spent up front. If you're paying Bill Belichick, I'm just, again, pick a number, $10 million a year, and he comes and says, hey, for me to be successful, I need another $2 million in NIL money, you're less likely to go, no. You're like, actually, I don't want to have wasted that $10 million. If that $10 million needs just 2 more to work, all right, let's find the $2 million. Meanwhile, Mac Brown's making $5 million a year, which is what all the reported salaries were, and he comes and asks for $2 million. You're not, well, I don't know if I want to give you 40% of what we've already spent. Again, it's just you're more pot committed. So it's the big leap. Saying yes to this now commits you to more investment in the future, which I think is a pretty good deal.
I also wonder what the reaction is going to be by other schools, not only just in this area. What is NC State thinking? Wait a second, if they're pouring more money in and they get fast success at Carolina with Bill Belichick, it's all right, do we need to put more money into what we're doing at football? Same with Duke. What about other schools in the ACC? There could be a potential trickle-down effect to the other schools in the ACC if this works out, if this actually does happen and it works out, what's the impact on everyone else?
That's the benefit of being first.
Yeah, that's true.
The benefit of being first is you take the risk, right? Because this might explode in your face. I've said that from the beginning.
Dual Note 814 says, when does NC State go and try and hire Eli Manning so they don't have to worry about losing to Bill?
That actually, I don't know if they saw it, but
well done. Well done.
I don't know.
That's my first time seeing it.
No, I mean, I'm just saying at 1:27 p.m. I tweeted out Eli Manning should petition for more eligibility and join NC State. So either great minds think alike, or you just tried to pawn off my joke on my show.
There you go. I didn't see you post that, so there's that.
There it is. No, I'm kidding. I'm not accusing of plagiarism, but great minds think alike, and it's not the most original joke on the planet, but it is funny. There's a lot of that kind of stuff, right? Like, should Rex Ryan take the NC State defensive coordinator job, which is open right now? Get back the Jets-Patriots right here in the triangle? Is there that sort of thing happening?
UNC's looking for an offensive coordinator now, too. Chip Lindsey's going to Michigan.
True. And I imagine Bill Belichick wants to bring in all of it. Like, I actually just, what was it, a week or two ago, I gave the UNC assistant coaches part of our dean's list because they got 7 letters of intent signed on early signing day, despite the fact that there was no head coach in the program. There was no leader, and they still got 7 guys to commit. So I was like, that's just doing your job for professional pride. You're probably not even going to be around. I almost guarantee they're not going to be around if Bill Belichick gets to be the head coach because little bit of he's a trust guy. He's got an inner circle. He's not like, oh, you're doing a pretty good job. I don't know you that well, but I'll keep you around. I think it's going to be hand-picked assistants at every single position for Bill. So, sorry, you're probably on the way out.